Hey, how's it going? My name's Mark. I'm going to be doing some quick videos, show you how to do some really quick maintenance on the round type Garcia reels. Two things that you can do to really speed up the performance of any of the round type reels is to clean your worm drive really good, lightly oil it, and also do a little quick technique that I do on the cogwheel that will really speed that up. And I'm not talking about putting bearings in it, and I'm going to show you how to do that right now. So I'm working with an Abu 7000. They're all pretty much the same. It's already been disassembled and cleaned to kind of speed things up so I don't bore everybody. One of the things I'm trying to do here is do really quick videos. So anyway, I've already taken the side plate screws out so that I can just pop the plate off. The first thing I'm going to talk about is the cogwheel. So I'm going to pull the frame off and set it to the side, and we're going to talk about the cogwheel. So typically when you buy these reels from the factory, the cogwheel will come with a plastic retainer that rides around this steel shaft that restricts it from being popped off. Well, the bad news about that is you can't get it off to clean it. And over time, you get some dirt and some grease and that sort of thing down in the cogwheel, and it'll just slow you down. It'll slow your casting speed and restrict your distance. So what I like to do is I like to cut that little plastic retainer off so that I can get the cogwheel off and actually maintain it when I do my reel maintenance. It also speeds it up. As you take the plastic retainer off, it's no longer touching the metal and it frees the cogwheel. So the way you do that is take a sharp knife or a razor blade. I'll use a razor blade, and I'll lay it in up against the cogwheel, and I'll shove it up against the shaft and cut through the little plastic retainer, and then I'll just kind of hold the razor blade there and spin the cogwheel until I cut it off. Now you may have to spin it around 2 or 3 times, and it's not that easy the first time you try it, but once you get the hang of it, it's not real bad. So once you get that thing cut off, you can now get the cogwheel off. So I'm going to pop that out. This allows you to do really good maintenance on the internal hull of the cogwheel and also on the shaft that the cogwheel rides on. So once you get that all cleaned up really well, all you need is one little small drop of oil. You don't need a lot of oil. Put the oil on the cogwheel or just on the shaft. Pop the cogwheel back on. Then to hold it in place, you're going to have to get you a little C-clip. This is the same type clip that's used on the handle when you're taking the right side plate apart. So I happen to have one here. I'm going to go ahead and pop it on there. You can buy these things all over eBay. They're about $1. Unfortunately, you got to spend about $3 to ship them. I usually buy 5 or 10 of them at a time so that the shipping doesn't kill me. So anyway, just put the C-clip there. Get your little screwdriver. Hope it doesn't fly across the room on you when you're trying to stick it on. And a little bit of pressure, and there we go. All right, so I'm done with the cogwheel, and I want you to notice how free this is. This thing is really free. It will really increase the performance of your reel. You don't have to go out and buy cogwheels with bearings. Believe me, I've made that mistake, and I don't really see anything much better in a bearing equipped cogwheel than maybe doing something like this. So anyway, that's it for the cogwheel. Let's talk about the worm drive. This is the most exposed area of the reel that will really create performance issues for you. Basically, the worm drive is the gear that the line guide rides on. That's exposed to the elements and actually gets dirty really quick and needs a lot of maintenance. So we're going to talk about how to keep that nice and clean, and it's really easy to get it apart. So let's go ahead and do that. So all you need is a screwdriver. We're going to take the bottom cap off. Once I get that off, I usually just take it off the rest of the way with my fingers. Set that to the side. Then you got the pawl that's up in the hole, and that just kind of will almost fall out unless it's dirty. Most of the time it's dirty and it's not going to come out real easy. You might have to grab it with some pliers. There's the pawl. Set that to the side. Now you got the line guide will slide up and down the shaft. If you look on the left side, you have this little, it's almost like a C-shaped or a moon-shaped clip, and you can just push it right off with your finger, swivel it over, pull it away, Once you do that, you can slide the worm drive and the shield out. When you do that, the line guide is going to fall out. So now we got this thing apart, and what you're going to want to do is take the worm drive out of the shield and then clean the inside of the shield really, really well. I'll use pipe cleaners, Q-tips, that sort of thing, something that'll get in there and really shine it up good. I'll also take a little bit of steel wool and shine the outside of the shield so that when the line guide goes back on, it's nice and smooth. If you got any corrosion on the inside of the line guide, you're going to want to clean that out too, because you want all these materials sliding nice and loose on each other. All right, so once you got them all clean, we'll put it back together, put the guide inside the shield, put that back in place. You have to install the line guide onto the shaft before you get it all the way in place. Put the top of that up in the groove where it's going to ride, and then you just spin the line guide until it snaps into place. Now I'm done there. You'll see that this line guide is going to float back and forth. One of the things I forgot to mention, and I want to go ahead and do that now, is I'll also take some steel wool or a heavy bristle brush and some lighter fluid. I really like lighter fluid because it cleans really well. This groove up here that the line guide rides in needs to be really clean. Okay, so you're going to clean this really well along with the worm drive and the shield. Once we got that back together, go to the left side. We take our little clip, put that back on, slide it around, press it back into place. That's done. Now that that's done, the only thing left to do is put the pawl back in. I like to put a good heavy drop of oil on the pawl before I put it back in. Put that in, put the cap on. You can get the cap started with your fingers. Sometimes it's a little bit easier. Well, I forgot to say this. Once you get the pawl in, you need to wiggle the line guide a little bit and let it seat. Okay, because if you don't, the cap's not going to go on, and that's what just happened. So now I'm going to put the cap on, get it started with my fingers, hopefully. All right, screwdriver. Just snug it up. It's not a strongman contest. Once you got all that back together, a couple of light drops of oil on the worm drive itself, a drop of oil right here on the gear, and a little bit of oil on the outside of the shield. And then you got a worm drive that's just really going to fly back and forth across the shaft. So when you got that, I'm going to set that over to the side. When you have that going on and you got a cogwheel that's going to spin freely like that, and you get it all back together, you'll really notice a big difference in your casting distance. So other than that, you just got to put it back together. Put the other side back on. Even if you don't do anything to the other side basically is just all the cranking and the release mechanisms for the spool. It's really not slowing the reel down. The only other thing that can slow your reel down is the bearings itself. And they're pretty concealed, so they don't normally get clogged up on you. But my next video is going to talk about how to pull the bearings out and get them nice and clean and re-oil them for top performance. So anyway, that's going to do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you get something out of it, and happy fishing to you. And be looking for the next video. I'm going to call this Quick Tip 1. The next one will be Quick Tip 2. It'll also be short and sweet. We'll talk about how to get your bearings back in shape and get your reel performing like new. Thanks for watching.